I'm not gonna waste any time, I'm gonna jump right into it, giving you guys my list of top picks for 2022. So first up on this list is the Joe Freshgoods 9060 Inside Voices in the Penny Cookie Pink. Now this shoe was a really dope introduction into this model, the 9060, which is a brand new silhouette by New Balance. This colorway, the blue colorway, were both dope. I preferred the Penny Cookie Pink over the other one, even though that one was a little bit more limited. But I like the silhouette overall, and this was a really great introduction. I was really hyped over this sneaker. I was able to get my hands on a pair. I no longer have them because unfortunately, I didn't pick up the right size, but a dope shoe nonetheless, and that is why it is on this list. Next up on the list, I'm bringing another New Balance into the fold with the Kith collaboration, the 990 V3 Daytonas. That shoe is a really clean sneaker. At first, I actually like the V2s more than I like the V3s, but the more that I wore the V3s, the more that I appreciated those a little bit more. The backstory is really cool. The packaging is really dope. You know, you've got the whole story behind a vacation spots for Ronnie Fieg growing up as a kid, and so you know, that was a dope concept, and I really like that shoe. Another one for New Balance. For number 8, I have the Nike Union collaboration in the Dunk Passport Pack in the Argon colorway. Now, the Argon colorway is my favorite of the three. I like the pistachio as well, but that was just a little too plain. This Argon colorway was really dope. I love the packaging on this one as well. You've got a whole boarding pass as a shoe box, and then you've got the big old label on the actual shoe themselves. And then the best part about the sneaker of it all is you've got the peel away layers that's introducing a different colorway. For these, you have the Argon colorway, which I really liked. And then I liked how you had the Frontman logo throughout the shoe. The co-branding was really nice, a really tastefully done sneaker by Union and Nike. Unfortunately, some of the other collaborations by Union and Nike haven't been so much of a hit. You've got the Cortezes, of course, and then you've got the Jordan 2s, but this one was really fire. I like this pack. Again, the Argon Blues is number 8 on my list. Number 7 on the list is the DJ Khaled Jordan 5 We The Best. Now, this is going to be in the Crimson Bliss colorway, but I have the Sail colorway, which I actually like a little bit more. But what I can tell you is when this pack first released, like the hype behind that was really big. You know, we were anticipating this shoe since the first pictures we saw. You had 2 pairs of Friends and Family colorways, and then you had the Crimson Bliss and the Sail colorway, Crimson Bliss being the more wider release. A really dope shoe. I love the touches that they put on a classic silhouette as in Jordan 5. The leather on that sneaker is second to none. If you guys haven't felt the Jordan 5 We The Best in hand, they are a dope shoe. I really like this shoe, and they deserve to be on the top list. For number 6, I didn't get my hands on this one, but I really like this sneaker, and we're talking about the Jordan 1 Travis Scott in the reverse mochas. And this was a really clean sneaker. Unfortunately, with Travis Scott, they sell out like nothing else. Resale ends up being crazy high, so I don't ever get my hands on them. But this was a really cool shoe. I like the tone of that brown and the white clashing together. It's really clean, really subtle. I really wasn't a big fan of the fragments, which are, of course, a lot of people's favorite Travis Scott 1 lows, but not mine. I really like this one, and you know, a really clean sneaker. I don't know if I will ever get around to getting them, but dope nonetheless. All right, so now we're getting into that top 5, the all critical top 5. And one thing that I gotta mention, this is definitely my list. This is nobody else's list, so you might agree, you might disagree. Post a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. What are your top 10 sneakers? What are your top 5 sneakers of the year? Coming in at number 5 for me, we've got the Tom Sachs GPS General Purpose shoe in the Studio colorway. You've got a really clean, simple sneaker that retails at $108. Super available to the public. I love how Tom Sachs made the push to get these in anybody's hands. They even had these on shelves in Kohl's, which was really cool to see. I like this shoe. I like the construction of the sneaker. It's really simple. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, for a shoe that doesn't have any real Nike tech in it, it's a comfortable sneaker. You can walk around and get work done and not feel your feet hurting. It does take a little breaking in at first, but you don't even feel it after a while. So I love this shoe, and hopefully people who wanted them were able to get their hands on them without any type of problem. So for that is number 5 on my list. Number 4 is probably my favorite as far as most anticipated sneaker of 2022, and that is the Nike Dunk Jackie Robinson. Now, I am a big baseball fan. Baseball was something that I played growing up. Jackie Robinson was somebody that I admired as a baseball fan, and his story and, reading through some of his books and things like that. I've really taken to what Jackie Robinson's been able to do for the sport of baseball, and also for Black America as a whole, being a pioneer as he was. So of course I'd be really excited about this sneaker. And once I got him in hand, I was super happy to have him. These are a shoe that will probably never leave the collection. I am a true fan of this shoe. I'm not a big Dunk fan, I will say that, but this shoe is something that I had to have. Now, the only thing that I was disappointed in is that there wasn't a bigger push behind this sneaker, because this definitely was a big deal. And a lot of people were waiting for a long time for this sneaker. And so, again, the Jackie Robinson Dunks coming in at number 4 for me. At number 3, another shoe that I couldn't get my hands on, but of course is a big deal, is the Louis Vuitton Nike Air Force One Virgil Ablohs. Of course, you had the Dior Jordan 1s, but this was something different. This was something special. Of course, we had just lost Virgil Abloh, a huge force in the sneaker culture and fashion. He was a big deal. And so to have this come out was something that was super special. It's kind of like sets a flag in the work that he's done. And so that was a really cool release. So many dope colorways. You have the green, you have the orange, you got the black, you got the all white. Price was crazy. $3K for a retail price. The auction pair you had going for $100K plus. It was insane, but it was a really dope shoe for anybody who was able to get their hands on those. Special shoe to have in the collection for sure. That is number 3 on my list. So number 2, you could probably tell what they're going to be because I've talked about it in some of my older videos, but coming in at number 2, I have the Jordan 4 A Ma Maniére. And this shoe is something that I've been waiting for again since the first pictures that I saw. The first pictures that weren't accurate pictures, but you kind of knew what you were going to get. A really dope sneaker. If you have not seen them in person, you've got to have them in hand. The leather is so buttery soft. You've got that sail colorway on the midsole, the black, the plum, everything just comes together so nicely. Really nice details. You've got that quilted insole. Everything looks good. And I think James Whitner, this is kind of just like the piece de resistance. This is cap off the great work that he's done throughout the year. The social status penny 1s and penny 2s would have definitely made my list on any other day. Those were really dope sneakers, but this is definitely the best one of them all. If you guys can get your hands on those now before prices go crazy in the next few years, make sure you do that. The A Ma Maniére Jordan 4s are number 2 on my list. Number 1, of course, on a lot of people's list is the Jordan 1 Lost and Founds. They are definitely a shoe that needs to be on everybody's top 10 list. Of course, the Jordan 1 Chicago is one of the dopest Jordan 1 colorways ever. No matter how many times that shoe re-releases, everybody's gonna jump on them. And at first people were kind of iffy because of the cracked leather, that aged look or the age theme behind it, but they came out really cool. The packaging was really dope. The backstory is also even better as well. From picking up an old dusty sneaker with the wrong box lid, then you've got the sale packaging. Everything is dope on this sneaker, and so I can't really say much more about it. As we start to see a lot more Jordan 1s just go through the system, man, it's good to see a classic, and it's great to see how creative you can get with those classics and still make them look really clean and really good. So the Jordan 1 Lost and Founds, number 1 on my list for top sneakers of 2022. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a quick rundown of my honorable mentions in no particular order. First off, we have the Off-White Air Force One in a Brooklyn colorway, a really dope shoe. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my hands on those either. Next up, the Jordan 1 Taxis, called those the Bruce Lees, called those the Wu-Tang Air Jordan 1s, a really dope sneaker to me. Any other day, they probably would have been on my list, but they didn't make it quite this year. And then next up is the Orange Lobsters, the Concepts Orange Lobsters. of course, the history of the Orange Lobsters. A really clean sneaker. Stupid release. The release was ridiculous, and won't get into that detail, but a really clean sneaker. I was really looking forward to seeing those in person. Kobe 6s. Kobe 6s were really dope. The Mamacitas, I thought those were a really cool release earlier in the year. And shout out to Vanessa and the team and the family for being able to continue their Nike partnership. That was a really, really good shoe. And lastly, we have a fairly recent release with the Bodega New Balance 9060 Age of Discovery. I really like that shoe. I don't think it did enough to quite make the list this year. It's still a better shoe for me than the Joe Freshgoods, but again, because of the Joe Freshgoods leading the way for this model, the 9060 model, I think that had to be on the list. This one here was a really clean shoe though, don't get me wrong, and any other day, that shoe also would have been on my top 10 list. That's it, you guys. That is my top 10 picks for 2022. Again, leave a comment below. Let me know what your top sneakers are of the year. Which of these sneakers do you have in your collections? Which ones are you still trying to get? And then also, thank you guys so much for tuning in throughout the year. This has been a very productive 2022 for me. I think this is the hardest that I've gone since I've done YouTube videos ever. So thank you guys for your continued support. If you guys wouldn't mind, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. 2023 is going to be a great year. Happy holidays to everyone. I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all be easy. Peace.